Good morning everyone, welcome to London again, and you'll recognise this place as Trafalgar Square. Just turn around a minute and I'll let you see me face. Hi there chat, welcome Sam, welcome Mark, welcome Daisy. I understand you're going, so have a nice day doing whatever you're doing. I'm going to take you for a little walk. It's only about an hour and a half if that. So without further ado, let's get on with it. It's right, let's have a look who we got. See who we've got in chat. Sam, hi, welcome on in. Mark, welcome on in. Have a good day, Daisy. Right, here we go. Today I'm going to take you up a bit, see a few theatres, up through Theatreland, and then come back down towards the river, and we'll finish at Westminster. How's everyone been? I've got a new sleep schedule, so that's why I'm later coming down here, although I didn't sleep too well last night. Second rough night I've had. Rise Camping, thank you for the follow, very kind of you. As you can see, we're in London, and as you can see, there's no rain. Still had no rain, no. There might have been the odd shower, but there's been no persistent rain for a long time. So all the rumours about London being a rainy capital is completely false. It is completely false anyway, because it's one of the driest cities in the UK. Right. Good morning Raymond, thank you for following. Like the name, for obvious reasons. Right. To the left is Canada House, which is where the Canadian Embassy is now. We're going to go up Whitcomb Street, we're up this way. Along the route this morning we're see some theatres, so London's Theatreland. I'm going to walk up through that way. Shouldn't be too long a walk this morning, about an hour and a half if that. Hope you all had a nice weekend. Just like to point out, today is a special day for Ukraine. It's Ukraine's Independence Day today. An important day for them. And as some of you in chat will know, I support Araba a lot, and I support her country, which is Ukraine, as well. I do believe in Ukraine, as does the rest of the UK. You've probably never seen some of these streets in London before. If you've watched some of my other streams of London, I tend to walk around the back streets more and keep off the main tourist traps as much as possible, to show you things that exist outside of the main tourist areas, which are nice to go and visit and see. On the corner here is an Odeon cinema. And this Odeon cinema here was built in 1969, and a unique thing about it. It was the first multi-cinema complex in the whole of Europe. Yeah, it was 4 cinemas in one. It's called the Odeon Lux. Don't get it confused with the other Odeon. There's an Odeon Haymarket, which is one of the more famous ones. On the corner here is our first theatre of the morning. And that's the Harold Pinter Theatre. This was built in 1881 as a theatre. It's been refurbished many times. The last time I think was 1955. But if you go in there, the auditorium is the original 1881 auditorium, so it's quite an old theatre. Nice old pub on the corner there. Nice building there, I don't know what that is. I have to look that one up. Famous building, the old London Trocadero. It's no longer used as what it was for, as a playhouse. It's now very much redundant and being rebuilt inside. Moving up. Theatre here, an old theatre, 1884. It was opened as the Royal Theatre, but then became the Prince of Wales Theatre, named after Edward VII, when he was Prince of Wales before he became king. Some marvellous buildings around here. A lot of people don't do this, is look upwards, look up and you see some remarkable buildings. London's got a lot of old buildings around. Some of the buildings are quite old. This is an old pub here, the Blue Posts. That pub dates back to 1739. So that's quite an oldish pub. On the corner on the right there, you can see the Gielgud Theatre. Gielgud Theatre opened as the Hicks Theatre in 1906. So it's quite a young theatre compared to many of the others. It was renamed Gielgud Theatre after Sir John Gielgud in his honour in 1991. Oh, sorry, 94, I think, 91, 94. And over here, mixed in amongst them, is the Apollo Theatre. That's another young theatre. That was only 1901. Very all night. Of course, being theatre houses and that, they're always makes it look very all night. Carrying on our walk. Well, I think we'll go this way. I'll go this way. I fancy going a different route. Let's go this way. Let's go along Shaftesbury. Shaftesbury Avenue is full of theatres. There's many of them along here. It's part of the West End, the theatre land. Still very popular, even though in this modern day and age of streaming and the likes, people still come here to see these sort of things. Make a night out of it. They come here and have a meal and then go and watch the play. And a quick dash to some of the mainline stations to get the last train home. Quite funny. It's a little bit later than I normally walk. Nice little tavern on the end there. I'm normally not around this time of day. I'm going to go up Denham. Don't know what you're all up to this morning. I don't know if you're all relaxing before you go to bed or you've all just got up and you're having your breakfast while getting ready for work. The nights are drawing in now, so it's getting darker at night and it's also darker in the morning, so I won't be doing as early morning streams as much as I have been, because obviously no point in filming in the dark. Good morning, Telmaratorish. Eating breakfast and heading for work. Nice. Glad I don't have to do that anymore. There's a Devonshire pub. Nice. Oh, I could do a pint right now, but they won't be serving just yet. Come here, and theatre here on the right. This is the Piccadilly Theatre. This is a very young theatre. This is only built in 1928. As you can see, it's showing Moulin Rouge at the moment. Interesting feature coming up here. There's a bridge that goes across the road linking two buildings. Originally that didn't link the two buildings that are there now. Prior to that was the Regent Palace Hotel, and that was a bridge for staff to go between the hotel and their living quarters. And when it came down, it had a preservation order on it, so it had to be kept, and it was incorporated in amongst the buildings either side. As you can see, pubs feature quite a lot in Britain. There is a reason behind that. In the old days, water wasn't as pure as it is now. You didn't have it on tap and you couldn't get pure water. So the easiest way to get fluids into the body was they brewed beer, because beer, doing the beer process, it actually cleaned the water and everything, so it was drinkable. So that's the excuse the UK had for having pubs everywhere. Clay's, is it? Hello, poultry. Oh, poultry. Shout out, poultry. Do you still stream poultry? I haven't seen you stream for a long time. I always remember you as the chicken man from when Kuma came over and visited London. Oh, you don't stream anymore? Well, I'm not sure I'm going to keep it up. I've only got convinced into doing it as a sideline. I like walking everywhere and seeing places and learning about the history behind it and everything. And I just got convinced by some streamers I know to actually stream. In fact, Kuma was one of them behind it who planted the seed in my brain when I met him a couple of years ago now, a year ago in Dover I met him, and he convinced me to stream. So I'm only doing it on because I'm retired from work, and I'm just doing it as a sideline. I don't expect to make anything out of it. It's not bad. It's not bad. Hosting Dreams, thank you for following. It's nice having the company of people around when there are people in chat to talk to. It's nice sharing what I do, but no. This is Golden Square in the middle. It was first established in 1670s. It's typical of the London squares where the residential buildings around it were responsible for the upkeep of it. It was their sort of garden. You still go walking around London, but don't stream it. Yeah. Actually, I mean, the setup I've got an anti-scuff setup. So I've got a box on my back, with all the batteries in and the modems and everything, and I use that, and I've got an action camera. I'm finding the action camera very restricted because I can't zoom in with it, because it works on webcam. I can't zoom in on anything I'm looking at, so I'm finding it annoying and restricted. So I'm looking at trying a couple of phones, and I use 2 phones anyway for signal. I'm looking at getting a couple of phones, using them, and try streaming with that, see if it lessens the weight, because this weight on my back is heavy. Right, we're coming to a famous street in London. This street was named after a nearby house called Carnaby House, and the street is Carnaby Street, and it's popular because it became a fashion centre. More popular in the late 50s, 60s, 70s. And it used to be just a back street. But what happened was that a photographer named Bill Vince Green, he started up a small clothing shop just around the corner from here. And sort of a knock-on effect, other people started doing it, and eventually it became the fashion icon centre for the 60s and 50s. And to some extent today, it's still the same. Oh, I can imagine poultry. Yeah, anyone famous and people go mad. Yeah, it's still trendy to an extent, but it was very trendy back in the day. Very popular with the mods at the time. What else would there be? The hippie movement, of course, and also what they called the peacock movement, which was like 1967, sort of before flower power movement. Sort of gear that the Kinks used to wear, like paisley design on it and everything. One thing about central London is you're hungry, you never have struggled to find a place to eat. They're everywhere. There's another Blue Post pub on the corner here. There's been a pub on this site since the 1700s. This one itself was built in 1828. 1892. That's right, 1892. Hello, Dirt Rider, thank you for chatting. Arizona, wow. But that's nice there. Cool. All I can smell around here is pizza. Strong smell of pizza. For those of you just coming on, I just do walks around London. I think this is my 11th walk now I've done. I just walk around and chat to myself most of the time. Dropping a little bit of history in here and there that I know of. Today I started at Trafalgar Square, I'm walking to Westminster, but I'm taking the longer route. This street we just walked into now is a busy shopping area. This is known as Regent Street. And if you look back at one of my VODs, I explain in more detail about how this came about, this street. It's the quadrant down the bottom there. See, quite ornate this street. It's not the original builds. These buildings were added in the 1800s, but it looks very expensive, and it is. A lot of these buildings I've struggled to find information on. Even looking at Google Maps, there's nothing about them. Just this is a number or just as a residence. You can't find any history on them, which is sad. Street is the famous Savile Row, well known for its tailors. Bespoke tailors, especially made suits. The whole of this area was known for its tailors, not just Savile Row. The other streets, another street I'll be going to shortly, was also known for its tailors. I've never had a suit from here, and I never will have a suit from here. I own one suit, and that's my old wedding suit. That's the only suit I own. I'm not a suit wearer. As you can see, there's a mixture of modern and old housing around here. That's because this area suffered intense bombing during the World War II, and it took many years for it to be rebuilt into the late 60s before it was actually rebuilt. That's why you get a mixture of modern and old together mixed in. Now this is Cork Street. Cork Street was once full of tailors, but now it's become well known for its art galleries. There's art galleries all the way up and down here, hence why there's all these banners above, probably pieces of artwork. Directly ahead of us is the Burlington Arcade, which I showed you previously. Hi Shuby, welcome on in. Welcome to my London stream. This here is the Royal Arcade. This was built in 1880 and is very much the same as what it is today. There's a lot of little bespoke shops. The bike photographer. Welcome on in. Hosting Dreams. Hello. What is the time here? The time here is 7:53 and you're in London, England. There's a lot of these little arcades around London. Just need to look for them and find them. Off the tourist spots, are very nice areas. This is Albemarle Street, and then we're going to start walking down here towards St James's Palace. This road changes and becomes more and more exclusive, expensive area, and is well known for gentlemen clubs. Ever been to Grand Flaneur? No, I've never even heard of it, Poultry. Where's that? Grand Flaneur. I should remember that and look it up. Yeah, where we're going to, it's very popular with Gentlemen's Club and they're very exclusive. You have to know someone to get into them and pay a fortune each year to belong to it. And what goes on behind the walls of those clubs, only the members know. This is like Jermyn Street. Twice a year. No, I've not heard of that. I have to look that up twice a year. So good. I'm trying to look for more things to do during the day. As the mornings are getting darker, I can't stream as much. Oh, they don't start on Jermyn Street anymore. I think I know where that is, the Bro statue. That rings a bell. You see these buildings now changing to be more luxurious, huge buildings. And they are what are, or were, gentlemen's clubs. Excuse me. November 23rd. I don't know where I'll be on 23rd November. Well, thanks for that, Poultry. I'll keep that in mind. Everyone dresses up in 19th. Well, that sounds interesting. I should imagine that's quite interesting to see. That's worth remembering. That'd be interesting. 23rd November. Grand Flaneur. I should remember that. Over there, just between there, that is Brooks. That's a building that was built in 1778, and it's always been a very exclusive, very private gentlemen's club. A mixture of yellow brick and Portland stone. Yeah, thanks for that. I will keep that in mind. That's might be worth a look at and perhaps stream it. There's quite a lot of things I'd like to stream, but I can't stream because access. Some places won't allow you access. Then you can't get a signal, and it's so annoying, frustrating to be honest. I've managed to tweak my setup now, so I'm using 5G all the time, which is good. Before, with this anti-scuff backpack, I was restricted to 4G with just the modems. But now I've hotspotted my phones to the modems instead. I can use 5G, and the signals makes the signal much better. That's good then. I no idea what happened there, chat. Sorry for that. For some reason it disconnected. I lost the video card to the camera for some reason. Rebooted everything, it's back. So that there and behind the scaffolding is St James's Palace. I've yet to show you that without the scaffolding. I promise you one day I will. We will get to that. Excuse me. Ah, Mama Swig, welcome in. Always nice to see you, Mama Swig. How's your vacation going? Are you having fun with the family? As you can see, Mama Swig, we're in the centre of London. This is Pall or Pall Mall, whichever you want to call it. Either way is right. You mention it to anyone and I know what you're talking about. Again, this is a street that is full of gentlemen's clubs mainly. Very exclusive buildings. Oh, excellent, Mama Swig. That's nice to hear. Nice to hear you're having a good time. How's the weather there? Pall Mall leads back to where I started from, but I'm not going to go all the way back to where I started. I'm going to turn down and go through St James's Park, so you're going to get to see some of the park, and then I should take you around Westminster and show you some of the sights at Westminster. Pretty mild morning here in London, not too bad. First time I've had to wear a hoodie for a while. It's kind of nice. Now, one of the biggest gentlemen clubs here is the Royal Automobile Club, which is the RAC, which is also known as the people that go around rescuing cars that break down. But they own this huge building here on my right. It's a members exclusive place. There's over 108 rooms in there. Hundred 108 rooms, and it also has restaurants, 3 restaurants, business centre. It has a full-size Art Deco swimming pool, games room, and a very rare, ancient Victorian Turkish bath. I think you have to be a member of the RAC to go in there. Well, how you go in there and what it costs, I don't know, but it's a lovely building. A little warm, but still pleasant. In Washington now, and it's kind of, oh, lovely, mountains and rivers. Oh, very, very nice. Oh, now you should be streaming, Mama Sweet. You could show the world that. That would be very beautiful to see. The street Pall Mall was originally designed to be residential property, but in the end it turned up these massive, great gentlemen's clubs, as I call them, and they still exist today. Well, I should imagine it's for the hoi polloi that can belong to them, not the likes of me, who live on a state pension. This is Pall Mall, this street, Shuby, or Pall Mall, whichever way you want to say it, it means the same. I believe it's on the Monopoly board as well. Just think of it. Yes, it is. It's on the Monopoly, but it's one of these. I think it's one of the purple, pink colour ones. See in the distance, if you can see it on the screen, very in the distance is the National Art Gallery with a dome building. That's where I started, and I walked up round to where I am now. But I'm going to veer off to the right shortly. Get away from this traffic. That's the only problem with with London is the traffic. I think you notice it more because a lot of the streets are narrow. The on this street isn't narrow, but a lot of the streets are narrower, so you notice it's slightly more. This is Washington Place. Washington Place. Portaloo Place. I did mention this before, that it was built to display statues and the like, and there are several statues here. That are of note. Another ornate gentlemen's club. This here is a man with a flag. Now apparently it's a Banksy. Do I have any more details of the Gentlemen's Club? I wish I did. Always I know they're exclusive. And those with money can go in them. This is a proper Banksy statue. A man with a flag, I think it's called. I don't know how long it's been here. Little fence around the bottom to stop people climbing it. All around there are statues, all of historical figures, mainly from wars, chief air marshals and generals and dukes and whatever that fought in wars. The column here is the Duke of York column. The Duke of York, this was erected in 1834. Duke of York was commander-in-chief during the French Revolutionary Wars. And any of you that have heard the nursery rhyme, the Grand Old Duke of York, well, that was done after him, it's named after him. Right, we're walking away from all this noise and traffic now. We're going to go down some steps and we're going to cross the road into a nice little park called St James's. Peace and quiet. Namesake of the Yorkie Bar, I don't know. I didn't know that, if that's the case. No idea how the Yorkie Bar came about. The road ahead of us is the Mall, or the Mall, whichever you want to call it. It's the main thoroughfare that leads from Admiralty Arch which presently is boarded up down the bottom end there on my left. That's being converted into a hotel, an Astoria hotel. There's going to be a fortune to go and stay there. And it is all the way up the Buckingham Palace, which is the other end of the road. As I cross the road, you'll see Buckingham Palace at the end. I've been through St James's Park with you before. You wouldn't believe this, but look, it looks like autumn. It really looks like autumn already. The grass is gone. It'll recover. The grass is quite hardy. Because of the heat waves we've been having here, it's just completely dried it out. So this is normally green and pleasant, and is no longer green and pleasant at the moment. Can we go to the zoo? No. Simple as that, I'm nowhere near a zoo. Excuse me. I am nowhere near a zoo. London Zoo is over at Regent's Park. I went there. I went to Regent's Park 3 streams ago, and I had terrible signal there, very terrible signal. It was awful. Mind you, I've not tried it with my new setup, it might still work. I was hoping to take you all to Kew Gardens, but unfortunately Kew Gardens won't allow you in the hot houses with streaming gear. I can stream around the park itself, so I could go there, look at all the trees in the park. But as for going in the hot houses where all the interesting plants and that are, unfortunately, they won't let me go in there and stream. AOO Rock, well done on 7 consecutive streams, wow. That's very good. Oh, thank you for being here.
The area that's been walking.
Through the trees there is Horse Guards Parade. I go well detailed description of that. The fact it wasn't a parade area for a long while, up to the 1990s, I believe, when it was used as a car park for the civil servants, and then it was converted into a thing, and now it's used a lot for Trooping of the Colour, etc. State birthdays, etc. This is what I was saying about my camera. I can't zoom in with it. It's a damned annoying. Got a super duper action camera, which is super sharp, super smart, and everything. But as soon as you put it in webcam mode, it's absolutely useless for anything other than just filming views. Ren Fair happening in Hatfield, a couple of weeks. Now that's interesting because I don't live far from Hatfield. I live north of Hatfield. I know Hatfield quite well. Yeah, Kew Gardens was a nightmare. Yeah, I did a stream in London, and I popped down there and checked it out and had a word with them, and they said no streaming, full stop. Which is annoying. I don't know why they don't do it. But then I'm not sure you get a signal inside those hot houses anyway, because them being all metal and glass and that, I'm not sure what the signal will be like inside them anyhow. But yeah, Renfrew happening at Hatfield. That'll be interesting. We passed this a few streams ago, and I said I'd find out what it is. And what it actually is, it's called Duck Island Cottage, and it was built for the special bird keepers that were involved in the park. And it's built on what is called Duck Island. It's called Duck Island because back in the day, before St James's Park became a public gardens, it was royal gardens, and it was mainly used for hunting. And on Duck Island they put a decoy duck there to lure the ducks to the island, and then they would kill the ducks for the food for the royals. And that's how it's got its name here. But out in the middle, again I can't zoom in, but out in the middle there's a spot where the pelicans all sit. And I can see it now. There's about 5 or 6 pelicans out there. I just can't. Well, you might see it bigger on a bigger screen, but Hobbit House, yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? Well, I've not come across any anti-cameras at the moment. I tend to watch what I'm doing when passing people. I try not to point it at them and physically let them see that I'm turning it away from them. But yeah, I've not had any problems. But then I don't go inside buildings. I'm not one for sitting and eating on stream. That's not my forte. Yeah, you're right, Tom Mauritius. That's what I say about this streaming lark. What I show is what I'm showing people. I'm showing London, parts of London that they wouldn't normally see, and then when they come here, they say, "Oh, I remember that on that stream." I go and visit it, and that's what all the streamers do that visit all these cities and that around the world. They promote those cities, but it's very short-sighted and not allowing you in, and because you go in these places and you're advertising it for them, free advertising. It just doesn't make sense. It's very short-sighted. And it's just the British way, I think. The British are very funny people. Anywhere indoors, but some areas on the streets that are private property would kick out streamers. Yeah, I can imagine that. So it is a very British thing. I've yet to stream in Germany. I'd love to stream in Germany. Germany is they're very private about their ways of life, and I wonder how streaming goes down there. But there's a lot of streamers in Germany. Streamers stream outside in Germany. I'd have thought it'd be more issue there than it would be in this country, but this country's terrible. And they're always worried. I think they're worried about you stealing their identity or something, you know. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Yeah, you're right, Tom. It's more like, look at it. It's terrible, isn't it? I think I came walking through here back in March, was it? Yeah, I came walking through here with Irabba on a stream in March, and it was green and lush. Look at it now. Terrible. Terrible. I think it's something we're going to have to get used to in the UK. This is Birdcage Walk. Excuse me. Got a bit of a tickle in my throat. A lot of private residences in the back there hidden. Let's go down to the lakes. Famous sight in the distance, if you can see it through the sun. The Elizabeth Tower of the Houses of Parliament, where the Big Ben bell is kept. Wait forever at the lights. You see a gap, use it. Jaywalk. Oh. This here is the rear of the Queen Elizabeth II Centre. It's where they bring all the bits and pieces in away from the public. The real entrance is around the front. Still trying to get over this cold I caught 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago. Sitting on a train, coming home after a stream. Person sitting behind me decides to sneeze and cough all over me. I knew straight away that the cold, and I sure did. This building here is Westminster Hall. It's a Methodist hall. They hold a lot of events and exhibitions in there. I remember going to one in there with my dad when I was a little kid. A big model railway exhibition. I'd never seen anything like it. Right. I think I might have to cross over here. The kangaroo, thank you for following, very kind of you. Ooh. Right, the view I'm going to give you now is of Westminster Abbey. And here we go, swinging around. Oh, sun's in my eyes. Oh. There we go, Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey has been a location of an abbey since 1066, when the Benedictine monks took it over. Been no less than 40 monarchs crowned here since then. Construction on the present abbey, which we've got there now, started in 1245 under Henry VIII, and it took, believe it or not, 500 years to complete to its present state. Adding bits on, being installed because of costs and everything. It's 500 years to build that into that present state. And here it stands today.
Or buy it.
That's right, Return of the Squirrel. Battle of Hastings was 1066. That's when the Normans come over, landed at Pevensey Bay down in East Sussex, and proceeded inland and held a battle north of, is it north? I think it's north of Hastings. It wasn't actually in Hastings, it was north of Hastings where the battle took place, and the place where it took place is now named Battle. Oh, nice. Come and see wrestling in London. That's nice, kangaroo. Kangaroo. It's good, you know. In fact, this stream is now showing you a bit of London, and you can come to look and have an idea of what there is here to see. But if you do decide to go touring around London, don't stick to the tourist traps. I know you want to see all the famous sites, the famous buildings and that, but do look inland, in back streets more, because there's a lot more to see than there is just in the main areas. And as I say to everyone, don't keep your eyes on the ground looking at the retail shops. Look up above the retail shops and look at the buildings that are there. Some of them are absolutely marvellous. Hello, yeah, dude. Welcome on in. Battle sounds silly, yeah, but it wasn't called Battle then. And of course, while the abbey was being built, the Benedictine monks needed somewhere to hold their prayers, so the church on the side was built, and it's St Margaret's Church. So that's how come there's a church immediately next door to an abbey. I don't know much about the religious background of it all and all that, but I believe the monks were dissolved in 1500s, and it all come under the Church of England, which was a religion which Henry VIII made up because he wanted to divorce his wives, and the religion he was in, Roman Catholic, didn't want to allow it, so he thought, sod this, I'll make my own religion up. Yeah, the turn of square probably was Henry VIII. Because he was so annoyed with the Roman Catholics, they wouldn't let him divorce his wives. He went out and set his own religion up. And he probably did go around knocking a lot of the abbeys and that down. Beautiful, that's absolutely stunning. Famous Elizabeth Tower. That was named in the memory of Queen Elizabeth II, our monarch before King Charles III. The Houses of Parliament itself, as I know it as, but it's also known as the Westminster Palace. It houses the House of Lords and House of Commons, which is the Ministry of Legislative Chambers of the government. More construction work. Buildings there on the left are all government buildings. Various parts of various different ministries. And that is Whitehall, which I've walked down a couple of times with you. Downing Street, and that is order, yep. If you watch that sort of thing on the TV, Prime Minister's Question of Time is usually shown live. It's from inside there. Where are you from, Return of the Squirrel? What country are you in? It's here in the UK. We jaywalk. And I've been doing it for most of my life. Well, Somerset. Well, I first started crossing roads when I was I don't know, 10 years old, perhaps on my own. My mum used to let me go to school on my own. So I've had 53 years experience of crossing roads. I'll look round. Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben's the bell inside the tower, which you hear striking on the hour. Also, several bells strike on the quarter past, half past and quarter to the hour. And they say in London there are more cyclists than there are road traffic. And you know what? I'm inclined to believe them. And you've got to watch what you're doing as well, because cyclists don't believe in red lights either. Many of them will just go through. And they're lethal. In this country, it's even some of the car drivers are lethal. They drive at you. You can literally hear them rev their engine up as they're driving towards you. Instead of just backing off and allowing you to cross, they rev up and try to, you know, scare you across. It's like some sort of game. South Bank and the famous London Eye. This building here, I'll show you over here, is the famous Scotland Yard. That's the original Scotland Yard. No longer the Scotland Yard. New Scotland Yard is the new place where the police headquarters are in London. Take boats from here. This is Westminster Pier. You can take boats up and down the river. They're Uber boats, and you just tap in, tap out like you do on the underground. And they're much better than taking the cruises. Ones that are sightseeing cruises. It allows you to hop on and hop off various places and see the sights. Great way to see London. You're a cyclist, don't run. I'm a cyclist too, Sam, and I don't run the red lights. And unfortunately, like drivers as well, there's good drivers and bad drivers, and there's ones that don't give a damn. They just think it's funny to scare people. This is the Victoria Embankment. I think I mentioned before, it would never existed until the 1800s when John Bazalgette decided to do something about the stench in London and stay at the River Thames, and he designed a sewerage system which ran along the north bank of the Thames, and they covered it over here with the embankment itself, and that's why this is where it is now, but the river used to be further back at one time. Are the river boats great? They're not really, not the Uber boats so much. They can be busy times, because I know commuters do use them. Mark in Sutton, thank you very much for following, that's very kind of you. I do intend taking an Uber boat from London Bridge down to Greenwich at some time and streaming it. Hopefully I can stream on the boat. I don't see why not. I should do that trip. But from what I've seen, they're not overly packed most of the time. But this is London, you see, and London can vary from day to day what it's like. Time of day where you get to see my ugly mug. So there we go. Oh. Excuse me. Right, that's my walk completed for this morning. I hope you've enjoyed it. Excuse my cough. It's not good. I intend to do another stream in the week, hopefully. If not, I'll definitely be back next week. One stream a week. I don't know how these streamers do these 8-10 hour streams. I find it difficult just doing 2 hours. They take so much energy out of me. I should go home now. I should struggle to keep awake on the train going home. And I should also struggle to stay awake the rest of the day. Right, let's see who we got on, see if there's anyone I can raid. No stream manager I can raid. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to get myself a drink of water in a minute. X-Ela, thank you for the follow, very kind of you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Mark. I'm trying to find someone to raid. I've chosen the most inconvenient place to sit down and look. Oh, dear. If there's anywhere you want me to visit in London and have a look at, or you know of anything that's going on that would be worth me streaming, please go on my Discord and let me know. Because I am willing to look around and see what there is. No one to raid. Well, in that case, there's no one to raid, so chat. Before I cough myself to it. I'll say goodbye to you all now. Thank you for everyone. Crosbow, thank you for lurking. That's very kind of you to be there. There is a super woman, you're right. Rocky209, thank you for following. Very kind of you. Peddling Panda, maybe. Perhaps a shady spot. Yeah, so thank you very much all for following, and I will see you around again soon. Take care, and anyone got any ideas or any places in England that you'd like me to visit, just put a note in my Discord and I'll